apologies for those technical difficulties. 16-4, JFK on top of Barringer here midway through the first quarter. It's been a defensive clinic so far for the Knights of JFK, as that one will go out of bounds. I'll head back to the Blue Bears.
Plugged it.
3:41 left to play here in the opening quarter. Again, stolen away. The Knights up ahead, and the finish. Jaquan Harrison. 18-4 in favor of JFK. Barringer trying to answer, and they will on the other end with William Abel. And then a timeout is called by the Blue Bears. 18-6, JFK on top of Barringer. We'll be back after this. Back after the Barringer timeout, 3:08 to play in the first quarter, a 12-point lead for the host school, Patterson Kennedy, and they answer that as Harrison adds another three. 21 points already in this first quarter for Patterson Kennedy, and still 3 minutes to play in the first quarter. Dominance showing so far from the Knights. Already had victories from PCTI and Teaneck. Teaneck, a monster comeback win. That one nearly intercepted, but a foul called on the reach. Still 3 more games to come at the conclusion of this one. Newark Central takes the floor next. They'll play Patterson Charter. After that, it'll be Arts against Immaculate Conception. And then rounding out the day, it'll be Patterson Eastside against Newark Eastside. Kennedy on the drive. A lot of contact down low, and then a late whistle for a blocking foul. First free throw goes down. Two for two. Nearly another Kennedy steal. Barringer trying to dribble out of trouble. Roberto Ferreira will step into a three-pointer, and he can't get it to go. Rebound fought for underneath. We got a whistle and a tie-up, and the arrow keeps it with Barringer. Another deep three-pointer. That one goes down. It's William Abel. Still a minute 20 to play in this first quarter. 23-11. Patterson Kennedy on top of Barringer. They'll save it in the corner, but unable to control was Jaden Mason. Barringer trying to call a timeout, but they'll get a jump ball instead, and the arrow keeps it with JFK. Three-pointer in the corner from Mason, no, and then the offensive rebound was controlled by the Knights, but they step out of bounds. Keyshawn Cody not able to stay in bounds. Their floater off the window goes for Perez. And Barringer back within 10. And that's going to be a kickball violation in the backcourt. Open on the wing, passing up a three, sidestepping and taking a three is Pierce. It was an air ball, and then the offensive putback was swatted out of bounds by Micah Charles. Inbounds all the way back to half court on the drive. Hanging and getting it deflected away was Johnson. Patterson will take it right back. Johnson calling for it. He'll get it. He'll try and drive in, but he's going to get called for a travel first. 14.5 left in the first quarter. Ten seconds for Barringer to work. They'll bring it into the front court. They'll get it taken away. Ball still loose. Blue Bears get it right back. They try and feed the baseline. Out of bounds. It'll stay with the Blue Bears. 1.9 on the clock in the first quarter. Barringer to inbound. They don't have a lot of time. They try and go underneath. Shot no good, and that will do it for the first quarter. Kennedy in front, 23-13 against Barringer. We'll be back after this.
Glover, one-on-one with the basket. Oh, Jaden Glover! With the windmill to send this place into a frenzy.
To the corner, Lawrence. No-look pass, and Wilcher lays it in.
Wilcher to the hole. Simeon Wilcher starting to heat up. He's got 4 points, and Roselle Catholic leads by 11.
Watson to his brother, and Tariq is fouled and hits it. They'll go to the line for one.
They'll pick it up, the clock will move. Lawrence with Adams on him, lost his footing, gets a shot up, and he gets it to go. At the buzzer, Jamarcus Lawrence. A big first quarter for the Nebraska commit.
Start of the second quarter, 23-13. Barringer with the basketball, trailing Patterson Kennedy by 10 here in the Freedom Fighters Showcase, third game of the day. Ferreira gives, open for three, is able, no good. An offensive rebound to Barringer. Just below the free throw line, that's going to be offensive basket interference. It was touched on the way down by Zaire Gordon. And that ball thrown out of bounds. Sloppy game here between Barringer and Patterson. And the water jug got shoved down by the Barringer bench as Jaquin Harrison was reaching for the basketball. Barringer tried to squeeze a pass down low, deflects out of bounds. Ferreira once again tried to give it off underneath. He was able to find Gordon, who finishes. JFK was nearing a 20-point lead. It's now been cut to single digits as they answer on the other end with a three ball. And now we have a whistle, and it looks like with that Gatorade spillage in the corner, both teams were just called to go to their bench so they can clean up the ice and water on the court here in Patterson. So with 6:37 left to go in the second quarter, we'll step aside for a break and be back after this.
They hate when you elevate. You're stacking up losses, I'm handing them out, yeah, I had to go delegate. But feel like I'm floating, I'm lost in the moment, I swear I could levitate. They never believed that I would really fly, I had to go demonstrate. I had to set them straight. They hate when you elevate. Elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate. Yeah. I had to elevate. I'm way too fly. Yeah, I'm feeling.
Apologies for low technical difficulties. Back on air. 28-16. JFK on top of Barringer. 5:12 left to go here in the first half as the Knights send in a floater, and that one goes down from Jaden Mason. Back to a 14-point lead for the Knights. Here against Barringer, third game of the day from the Freedom Fighter Showcase. Able to get it over the front rim is Ferreira.
Must be something about 2 o'clock.
Micah Pierce with the ball, guarded there by Ferreira. Patterson in black, Barringer in white. Pierce, that's a tough shot, no good off the back rim. Rebound tipped off the backboard and pulled down by Charles, and then a foul going over the back for the Knights. An out-of-bounds call on Zaire Gordon. Barringer head coach Phil Taylor not happy with the whistle, but out of bounds, and the ball goes back to Patterson with a 12-point lead and just over 4 minutes remaining here in the first half. On the drive, oh, that was swatted from behind, but right into the hands of Mason. Knights stay with it, and then a foul called on a reach. It's going to be a travel on Patterson. Both teams trading turnovers, turnover margins rising here in this first half. Patterson trying to trap Barringer. They get it across half court. Nice feed down low. Charles, no, the try and put back stuff by Gordon, no good. Barringer stays with it. Ferreira passes up the three, instead finds the cutting Wilfredo Perez for the floater, who missed. Mason passed up the corner three. Driving, scooping, unable to finish as the rebound's underneath. It gets knocked free. Patterson will stay with it as they fire a pass down low. And the baseline jumper, no, by Mason. The follow, no good as well by Cody. And then we get a whistle as bodies fall out of bounds. It'll go back to Barringer. Barringer trying to come up with a defensive stand here. They're not letting Patterson get inside the arc as now they penetrate, but they're forced right back out.
Knights
looking to work off the dribble. Not a lot of movement. It results in a corner three that rattles out. And the Blue Bears finally secure the defensive rebound as they look to run collision in the half court. No foul call. Blue Bears stay with the ball. A pass fake and a shot that's left short by Ferreira. Outlet pass up ahead for Pierce. And Pierce tried to stuff it home and got rejected by the rim. That was Barringer down the other end. They try to lob it up, and it's swatted out of bounds by Cody. Both teams trying to showcase here, but they're not executing on the fundamentals. Ferreira pulls it back out, minute and a half to go before halftime. Ferreira on the drive, behind the back pass. Perez passed up on a three. Instead, they'll work the ball to the wing as a three drops for August Mays. Feels like Patterson should be up by a lot more than just 9 points in this game. 65 seconds to go before halftime, and Barringer just continues to hang around here against Kennedy. Justin Arias, he's driving, finger roll is swatted out of bounds. Zaire Gordon with the rejection. And a 5-second call there on Patterson. Was trying to see if they wanted a hold for one, but Jaden Mason could never shake his defender and never move towards the basket with the ball, and he gets called for the 5-second count. So now Barringer with 30 seconds left to go in the first half, a chance to hold for one and chip in further to this deficit that's now at 9. Ferreira, got to be wary of a 5-second count, gives the ball up for Mays. Mays, who just hit a three, nice feed down low, and then a travel on Gordon as he tried to throw it back to the free throw line. It's a great pass by August Mays, but as he tried to feed Gordon down low, I don't know if he was ready for the pass, and as he stumbled and caught it, it went out of bounds. An easy travel call there, as Patterson will get the basketball back with 8 seconds left here in the second quarter. I don't know if they realize they have 8 seconds left. They got to go. Now 5. They'll work it up into the front court with 2. They'll drive and throw up a wild shot that spins out from Johnson, as that takes us to the end of the first half. 30-21. JFK on top of Barringer. Don't go anywhere. Second half coming up after this.
Glover, one-on-one with the basket. Oh, Jaden Glover! With the windmill to send this place into a frenzy.
To the corner. Lawrence. No-look pass, and Wilcher lays it in.
Wilcher to the hole. Simeon Wilcher starting to heat up. He's got 4 points, and Roselle Catholic leads by 11.
Watson to his brother, and Tariq is fouled and hits it. They'll go to the line for one.
They'll pick it up, the clock will move. Lawrence with Adams on him, lost his footing, gets a shot up, and he gets it to go. At the buzzer, Jamarcus Lawrence, a big first quarter for the Nebraska commit.
Yeah, they hate when you elevate. The second of losses, I'm handing them out, yeah, I had to go delegate. It feel like I'm floating, I'm lost in the moment, I swear I could levitate. They never believed that I would really fly, I had to go demonstrate. I had to set them straight. They hate when you elevate, elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate, yeah. I had to elevate. I'm way too fly, yeah, I'm feeling.
You can see the future of the Duke and North Carolina rivalry on D1 Media Pro.
There you see Hubert Davis, head coach of North Carolina, here to see Simeon
We're
Wilcher.
looking live right there at a trio of Duke basketball coaches: John Shire, Nolan Smith, Emil Jefferson. Clock now at 12. Kicks it in the corner. Lively for three. Got it. Derek Lively, a corner three. And an early third quarter. As he'll look to go off the dribble here. Goes right around Lively, and he gets the roll. Inbounds to Wilcher. A step back, fade away, through contact. Simeon Wilcher. He's out for Mbako. He'll try one from beyond the arc. And Mackenzie Mbako is on fire to start this one. Lloyd attacking and throws it down. Touchdown for St. Peter's. I'm here with Darren Lewis
With Simeon Wilcher.
Here with Precious Achua.
About doing overtime.
no business being out there.
You know, I'm a person too.
This high school gym used to be packed most nights. Not anymore. Do you know why? Because bad behavior by fans, especially adults, has caused a shortage of game officials across the country. You see, without officials, we can't have sports. Don't let this become reality. It's time for a change. Let's bench bad behavior for good.
Start of the second half here between Barringer and Patterson Kennedy, a 9-point lead for the host team, JFK. After 2 quarters of play, they'll have the basketball here to start the third quarter. Kevin Connolly, Mustafa Hooten with you. Third game of the day here from JFK. We have Patterson Charter and Newark Central coming up next. After that, it'll be Immaculate Conception and Arts, and then Patterson Eastside against Newark Eastside to round out the day. Already seen victories from Teaneck. The Highwaymen, a big-time come-from-behind victory over Columbia. And then Patterson, or I should say Passaic Tech, in our last game, a convincing win over West Caldwell. Been a lot of turnovers in that first half. Somehow that pass able to be squeezed through for Patterson as they'll try and start the second half with consecutive buckets. They've already pushed their lead to double digits as that three is way off, and then a foul called underneath. Barringer had a tough time trying to beat the Patterson press. You saw with the most recent turnover right there, just a poor pass and an easy steal. Foul underneath called on Barringer, and it'll be baseline out of bounds for Kennedy as they'll try and back their way into the post. The shot is rejected. They'll recontrol at the free throw line. Too strong there for Harrison. And then a foul called on Kennedy on the rebound. Barringer able to break the press. Ferrara with it, brings it back out to half court. Mays trying to squeeze through a double team, was able to get it down low, and Barringer's going to have 2 free throws as Zaire Gordon was fouled. Zaire Gordon goes 1 for 2 from the line. Barringer back within 10, a minute gone here in this third quarter. And that ball deflected out of bounds. Would love to see the actual turnover numbers for both teams here in this game. Imagine both teams easily in double figures. Mays shut down on the drive, able to work free. Ends it back. That's a floater. That got partially blocked near the rim by Johnson. It's sent out of bounds. Last touch off Kennedy. Roberto Ferreira gives a hop step in the lane. That's a nice pass and a finish by Umar Sainer. Barringer shaving a point off its halftime deficit 2 minutes into this third quarter. That pass nearly deflected away it was and sent out of bounds off of Perez as JFK will call a timeout. 5:50 to go here in the third quarter. 32-24. Knights are on top. .550 to go here in the third quarter. Patterson just burned a timeout. Both teams with 4 timeouts remaining here in this game. Knights see what they draw up out of the timeout, and they draw an action, getting to the basket. That'll result in free throws from Jishawn Johnson. Johnson at the line to shoot 2. So he'll go 1 for 2 from the stripe. Or 2 for 2. Barringer works up ahead. Ferreira slipped on that far side. They'll say that ball was deflected. Only reason It wasn't a travel. Back out for Mays. Ferreira back to his feet. Just over 5 minutes left here in the third quarter. Ferreira the cross, the kick back to Mays. 10-point lead for Kennedy. Mays hop-stepping into the lane, but a step too much because he traveled. And now Ferreira, perhaps he didn't slip. Looks like he's injured as he limps off to the bench. Maybe twisted the ankle as he'll get checked out. Back for Johnson, and it's a blocking foul. Jaden Mason back into the game for Patterson. .11 lead, 4.5, just over 4.5. The free throw line, sent back out by Perez. William Abel pulls it out with 4:15 left in the third quarter. Now it's Mays. Mays on the drive, down low, and it's rejected right into the hands of Gordon. Couldn't get it to go. Ball still loose on the baseline. Saved by Barringer, but Kennedy comes away with it on the ricochet. And then they turn it over. Mays driving, bobbled the pass back out to the wing. Perez will just loft it up to half court for Abel. Perez got it stripped, tried to get it back, but in the process, he fouled the falling Cody to the ground. That's an offensive foul, an illegal screen called on Kennedy. This time it's going to go on Johnson. Driving, nice move there by William Abel, finishing at the rim. Abel tried to draw an offensive foul with a big-time flop in the front court. Was trying to draw Dennis with another offensive foul. That one's pinned against the backboard by Gordon. Barringer looking to run the reverse wild shot, no good. And Kennedy throws it off the bottom of the backboard, and it'll stay with Barringer. Some of the turnovers in this game, frankly, have never seen before on a basketball court. Yeah, that's what we're doing here, because then Barringer throws it right away off the inbounds. We got to be nearing 40 combined turnovers in this game. At three-pointer, too strong. Rebound pulled down by Perez. Barringer Tried to create contact, no, but the loose ball was on the deck. Perez scoops it up and puts it in. And again, somehow, Barringer within 8 points with 2:25 to go in the third quarter. It's close, I'll give you that. 36-28. Timeout called on the floor. We'll be back after this. Barringer called timeout. 3 remaining for the Blue Bears. JFK with 4. 2:25 left to go here in the third quarter, and a 36-28 lead for the host school Patterson Kennedy Knights here in the Freedom Fighters Showcase. Third game of the day out of 6. Coming up next is Patterson Charter against Newark Central. Following that, it'll be Arts High School against Immaculate Conception, and then rounding out the day, it'll be Patterson Newark, or I should say Patterson Eastside against Newark Eastside. So it'll be Patterson ball inbounding from the baseline after the latest bucket from Barringer. Barringer will try and pick up full court. Harrison finds Johnson. Johnson off the screen, got it stripped on the way up. Hit his body last, and it goes to the Blue Bears. Roberto Ferreira brings it into the front court. 2 minutes left to play here in the third quarter. Barringer swings it around the perimeter. Perez runs the baseline, gets it in the opposite corner. Nothing doing here. A lot of standing around for the Blue Bears on offense. They're trying to get it down low to Zaire Gordon. He's being hounded by Keyshawn Cody, face guarding him in the post. Possession nearly a minute long here for the Blue Bears and still have not attempted a shot. Mays, nearly a 5-second count. Instead, it worked down low. Cody altered the shot as Perez tried to get it over him. Under a minute to go in the third. Open shot in the corner for 3. It was halfway down and out and bounced out for Micah Pierce. And then we will get a whistle. And it looks like an injured Patterson player, perhaps cramping up, is Jashawn Johnson, who went straight to the bench. And now it looks like he's going to go back to the Patterson locker room to get checked out with 33.9 left on the clock here in the third quarter. It'll be Barringer ball inbounding from the opposite baseline. Still 36-28's our score here in the third quarter. Around in the corner to Perez. He drives, hook shot, no. Gets the offensive rebound. Back out for Mays. Barringer smart, they'd hold for one. 11 seconds left to go in the corner. Mays driving, wild shot, and he's going to the line for two. So August Mays will head to the line for two shots. Fourth team foul on Kennedy. Barringer also with 4 team fouls of their own. And Mays misses the first free throw. And then an offensive lane violation called on Barringer. We haven't had that kind of turnover today, so there's a new turnover in the game. An offensive lane violation on the Blue Bears, and it gives the ball back to Kennedy with a chance to push their lead back to double digits entering the fourth quarter. They'll inbound and get it back to Pierce. Now on the drive, hanging. Oh, what a pretty finish there from Jaden Mason. It pushes the lead to 10, and that does it for 3 quarters of play. 38-28. KFK over Barringer. We'll be back for the start of the fourth quarter after this here on D1 Media Pro. 8 minutes left to go here in regulation. JFK with a 10-point lead against Barringer, 38-28. Kevin Connolly, Mustafa Houghton with you here live on the D1 Media Pro page on the National Federation of High School Sports. Barringer being urged out of their huddle on their bench. Now they'll break that huddle. It'll be Blue Bear basketball to start this fourth quarter. They've gotten close. They were down nearly 20 points in the opening quarter. They've slowly chipped away, got within as many as 7, but they just can't get over that hump and get within real striking distance here of Patterson as we are underway in this fourth quarter. North Central, Patterson Charter coming up next. After that, it'll be Arts against Immaculate Conception, followed by Patterson Eastside against Newark Eastside. Oh, what a rejection there by Johnson. Left the game at the end of that third quarter. Looked like he was cramping up. Nearly got away with a carry there, but an outstanding rejection to begin this fourth quarter for him. Now on the drive. That's a tough take and a finish for Danny Miranda. And then a 10-second count on Barringer. Couldn't get it into the front court in time. They'll feed the post, and there to finish is Johnson. And then a delay of game warning on Jashawn Johnson as the ball got knocked into the crowd. on the drive. Ferreira is fouled on his way to the basket. So Ferreira goes 2 for 2 from the line. Barringer gonna need a lot to go right here in the final 7 minutes. Trailing by 12. They're trailing by 12 with 7 minutes to go. Doesn't seem like a lot, but for a team that only has 30 points now through 3 quarters and change, it feels like a big margin. Foul called on a reach on the perimeter. Both teams now with 5 team fouls. Ball thrown up top, controlled, and they're going to wave it off. And they'll say it's a jump ball, and the arrow keeps it with JFK, but take away 2 points. And a jump ball was called. No basket, and the arrow stays with the Knights. Three-pointer barely grazed the front rim for Miranda. Put back, no. And then the ball rolls out of bounds, and they'll say Patterson touched it last. Patterson picking up full court. Barringer will get it into the front court. And then a foul called on a reach. They'll get Mason with the foul. Sixth team foul on Patterson, so Barringer will be shooting free throws for every foul going forward. Aside from an offensive foul. Off the window, trying to bank it in. There was Abel, but the rebound was knocked out of bounds off Patterson. Out to the top. Ferreira was open for 3, passed it up. Decided to kick out to Perez, who is fouled on the pass. So it'll be on the pass, which means it's a 1-and-1 for Wilfredo Perez. Foul goes on Denny Miranda. Two for 2 from the line. Goes Perez on the 1-and-1, and it's a 10-point game. Miranda will check out for Patterson. And that one stolen away. Abel to the basket, and they'll let him finish for 2, and it's back to a single-digit deficit for Barringer. The Patterson lead has been trimmed to 8 once again. Can Barringer find the consistent stops in offense? Perhaps this can do it. Abel gives it up, the give and go, and Abel finishes. And it's now a 6-point lead for JFK. Back-to-back steals from William Abel and 2 layups 4 quick points for the Blue Bears, and a timeout is called by the Knights. 5:13 left to go here in the fourth quarter, and Barringer not going quietly. Back after the Patterson timeout, their lead has been trimmed to 6 here against Barringer with 5 minutes left to play in the fourth quarter. Really hasn't been that much action in this game. A lot of turnovers, a lot of fouls, and we get another foul right there. And it'll result in free throws for JFK. First free throw spins out, and Patterson right now with no answer for this Barringer run. Barringer has cut its deficit in half here in the fourth quarter. They trailed by as many as 12. And they go 0 for 2 from the line. The rebound's loose on the deck, and then we get a foul called. The foul's going to go on Kennedy, and a 1-and-1 upcoming for Barringer. A walk down the other end of the floor. Both teams now in the bonus. That's the 8th team foul on Kennedy. Barringer has 6 team fouls. Umar Sainer at the line, shooting 1-and-1. And Sainer hits the front end. 5-point game with a chance to make it 4. And he's short on the back end of the 1-and-1. Under 5 minutes to go in a 5-point game here between Barringer and JFK, and then a foul. It'll be a blocking foul on William Abel on the sideline, and now a 1-and-1 for JFK. Something tells me in these final 4 minutes and 49 seconds there's going to be a lot of free throws from these two teams.
This rest of the game going to take about 30 minutes.
So a 1-and-1 for Jaden Mason. And he gets the front end. Second shot good as well. So back to a 7-point lead for Kennedy. Patterson now picking up full court. They forced a lot of turnovers, and they did this in the first half, but not here, as now the ball gets tipped away into the first row. It'll stay with the Blue Bears. Abel tries his luck from three, might have grazed the front rim, saved by Gordon, and then lost by Perez. Kennedy looking to run. The no-look pass results in a three-pointer from Micah Pierce. And just like that, Barringer had a chance to cut their deficit to 4, and the lead's back to 10 for Kennedy. And then a travel before Barringer could get the ball into the front court. Halfway through with this fourth quarter, the lead's back to 10 for Patterson Kennedy. Mid-range, tried to bank it in, no good there from Mason. On the rebound, fought for by Abel. Abel got it poked away. Numbers down the other end for Kennedy. They nearly throw it away. Saved there by Pierce. Now in the kick to the corner. Mason's open. He'll take the three, but he can't get it to go. Rebound fought for, and a timeout was called by Kennedy. Phil Taylor, the Barringer head coach, trying to say there wasn't possession underneath the basket for Patterson to call timeout, but it was granted to them. 3:23 to go here in the fourth quarter. JFK calls timeout with a 10-point lead.
Come on, oh, come on! Oh, what a bad call! You have no business being out there.
You know, I'm a person too.
This high school gym used to be packed most nights. Not anymore. Do you know why? Because bad behavior by fans, especially adults, has caused a shortage of game officials across the country. You see, without officials, we can't have sports. Don't let this become reality. It's time for a change. Let's bench bad behavior for good.
Back after the timeout, 3:23 to go here in the fourth quarter. A 10-point lead for JFK. They have 2 timeouts remaining after their latest to keep the possession. Barringer had a chance to get within 4. Split 2 free throws, got within 5. And since it's a 5-0 run for JFK. Johnson. Shot might have been deflected there by Gordon. Look to work up ahead, and a foul from behind will result in free throws for Barringer. Barringer goes 0 for 2 from the line. Can't have that when you trail by 10 and under 3 minutes to play. Kennedy hasn't proven to be a team that'll run clock, and they don't have the chance to here as a foul called on a reach on the perimeter. It'll be a 1-and-1 for Patterson. One and one for Jaden Mason at the line. He goes 1 for 2 as the rebound comes into the hand of Mays. Mays looking to run. Shut down there by Pierce. That ball gets deflected right into the hands of Gordon, who couldn't finish off the window. Ball taken away. Too loose with the dribble was Johnson. Perez the steal, couldn't finish. Ball loose in the corner, and they're going to say out of bounds, and they'll say before he threw it off the body of Ferreira, they'll say Harrison was out of bounds for Kennedy. Miscommunication there between Abel and Mays. Mays thought Abel was going to cut. Mays stayed in the corner. And the ball ended up against the padding on the baseline. That's going to be an offensive foul on Patterson. Jaden Mason using that off end to create separation. Easy call for the officials. 101 seconds left to go of an 11-point game. Hasn't been the cleanest, hasn't been... Talked about pace earlier today with how great the flow and the pace of the game was between Teaneck and Columbia. Haven't had the same pace in our last two games, haven't had the same flow in our last two games. But it looks like we're going to get decisive victories in both of them. PCTI with a win over West Caldwell, and now a 13-point lead for JFK against Barringer with 1:15 to go. Ferreira down low, Gordon no, and the rebound controlled by Kennedy. Johnson brings it into the front court, under a minute left to play here in the fourth quarter. 13-point lead. Kennedy will work it into the paint. And it seems like they're content on just dribbling this one out, and then a foul will be given by Roberto Ferreira. It'll be the 9th team foul on Barringer, so still a 1-and-1 situation for Patterson. It'll be Jaden Mason at the line, shooting 1-and-1. Clock never stopped. Now it does at 38.4.
I prefer to run. Next game, but I don't want to hear nothing from nobody. You know what I mean?
So they put a minute back on the clock. That seems like a lot of time to put back as they go 1 for 2 from the stripe. Should have at least been 40 seconds. But now the clock stands at 52 seconds left to play. Pierce drives and kicks. See if Barringer wants to commit another foul. Nearly come away with a turnover, and they do. So it'll go back to Barringer with now 29.9 on the clock. Ferreira brings it across. Will pull from deep, and it spins in, and Barringer's going to call a timeout with an 11-point game and 22 seconds left to go. So the Blue Bears burn a timeout, looking for a miracle here in Patterson, trailing by 11.
The purpose of the timeout.
51-40, JFK on top of Barringer. The Blue Bears just burned a timeout with 22.4 seconds left to play, but it looks like this game is in control, barring a miracle. Patterson ball on the baseline. Justin Arias checked in. He will inbound. Yeah, Barringer wants to foul here. That ball gets deflected. They come away with a steal. 15 seconds to go. They'll drive to the basket, and then Arias commits a foul that you probably don't want to give with 12.8 on the clock. You trade the 2 points for the clock continuing to run.
Keep playing. Let's go.
But 2 shots upcoming here for Barringer. Try to make it a 9-point game with 12.8 left on the clock. Patterson will send it up ahead. Mays comes away with it. Another turnover for Patterson. Mays to the basket. He'll lay it in for 2. It'll be an 8-point game, and time will expire. 51-43 is our final score as JFK takes down Barringer in the 3rd game of the day here from the Freedom Fighters Showcase on the D1 Media Pro page on the National Federation of High School Sports. Patterson Charter, Newark Central to come in 10 minutes, and game number 4 of the afternoon. Stay live right here for the Sportsmanship and MVP award for this game.
Both teams back to the benches. Both teams back to the benches. Barringer, come on back. Let's give a round of applause for both teams. Great game, guys. Great game. My name is Keith Upper, giving out sportsmanship MVPs for today. Legacy. Sportsmanship goes to Wilfredo Perez.
So Wilfredo Perez giving the sportsmanship award for Barringer.
MVP for Kennedy, Zaire Simmons.
Zaire Simmons named as the game's MVP for Kennedy. So we'll see if we can get Zaire Zaire.
How do we pick the second guy?
So here was Zaire Simmons named as the MVP for Kennedy with their victory over Barringer. Zaire, what does the honor mean to you?
We just played hard. I know it was hard on us to close out in the game, but we still came out strong, man. I know we still need to practice. We going up more. We need to practice more so we can win more games. We doing bad right now, but we got to just run it up.
Talk about today's game. You defeat Barringer, back and forth affair. You're able to close it out at the end. How big of a win is this for you guys?
We just play hard on the defensive and let the shots come in our offense. That's it, man.
Zaire, appreciate it. Good luck the rest of the year. Well, that'll do it for game number 3. Patterson Charter and Newark Central coming up after this.